Dear ChatGPT, please, will you be my piano teacher? So today, we're going to ask AI to be our piano teacher and see whether this is the future of piano education. Spoiler alert, it's not. Hey there, if we haven't met yet, I am absolutely biased in this conversation because I have been a piano teacher for about 20 years and I teach other piano teachers how to be even more wonderful for their students all over the world. So yeah, I don't really think ChatGPT can do our job, but I thought it would be fun to see what it can do. So I have asked ChatGPT if it will be our piano teacher. Here is the response. I'd love to help you learn piano. Let's make this fun and practical. We can cover everything from the basics like hand positioning and reading music to techniques, chords, scales, and even song practice. We're already reacting, right? Because they said songs, not pieces. But anyway, let's keep going. Just let me know where you want to start and we can create a learning path that suits your goals and schedule. Do you have access to a keyboard or piano? And is there a particular style or song that you're excited to learn? Okay, interesting. I'm going to do my best to act like an actual beginner student and just see what would happen if they actually asked ChatGPT to be their piano teacher, whether they would get anywhere, where there might be some holes in the knowledge. A lot of this knowledge, all of it, is scraped from the internet, including a lot from my own blog. So some of it is going to be my own advice, parroted back to me in new words, and we're going to see what happens there. So let's see. It's asked if I have access to a keyboard or piano. So that is a good question because a lot of students start and don't realize that they need something. But they're self-studying and planning to use ChatGPT. I hope they realize they need something because they don't even have a teacher's piano. But anyway, I'm going to say I have a keyboard and just see what it does with that. And I want to start from the beginning because that's what some adult students will say to me. Like some will have a specific style, like I really want to learn ABBA, and that's great. But a lot will come to me and just say, I just want to learn in general. Just start me at the beginning. Okay, so nice and vague. Let's see what it says. Perfect. Starting from the beginning is a great way to build a solid foundation. Sure. Let's go step by step. Step 1, getting familiar with the keyboard. Oh my gosh, it's giving us a lesson. Here we go. Keyboard layout. Notice that the keyboard has a repeating pattern of 12 keys, 7 white and 5 black. This set of keys, 12 keys, is called an octave. Okay, so if you're a piano teacher watching this, is this where you would have started? I wouldn't have. It's over information. Who cares that it's called an octave? I'm sorry, we don't care about that right now. We need to get to playing something. But anyway, that's what they've told us. And also the fact that they've said it's a repeating set of 12 keys. A beginner, even an adult, might be confused right now because they're like, what? And they're going to have to puzzle that out rather than thinking we have a 2 and then a 3 of black keys and that's a repeating set of 7 white keys. Okay, anyway. Find middle C. Step 2 is find middle C. Wow. Middle C is a good reference point. I mean, yeah, it is. Look for the white key directly to the left of a set of 2 black keys in the middle of the keyboard. Okay, now I've said I have a keyboard. So this might not be the middle of my keyboard. If it's a full size, yes, it is almost in the middle and it is the white key directly to the left of the 2 black keys. Yes, some adults will follow these directions, but honestly, it's pretty convoluted way to learn. Anyway, we're assuming we've found middle C. What does it want us to do next? Step 2, finger numbering. Each finger has a number. 1 equals thumb, 2 equals index finger, 3 equals middle finger, right? This helps with sheet music and fingering instructions. Okay, we've had some information. I know this isn't actually so much to read in one go, but it's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't actually need to start playing. Sure, you need finger numbers. You don't actually need them right away. I wish it had started us with like something we could play instantly. Step 3, playing your first scale. Oh my gosh, this is not the first thing we should play. But anyway, to get comfortable with the layout, let's start with a C major scale, which only uses white keys. Okay, I'm going to do my best to pretend to be a beginner following these instructions. Okay, so it says, place your right hand Position your thumb, 1 in brackets, on middle C. So I might do it like this if I'm feeling silly. Play each note in sequence. Oh my gosh, that's so confusing. C, D2, E3. When you reach E, tuck your thumb. Many technique specialists are cringing right now. Tuck your thumb under to play F. Then continue with G2, A3, B4, and finish on the next C. And then let's just do the left hand. Okay, start with 5 on pinky, 5 on C, an octave below middle C, assuming we've remembered what an octave is from the beginning explanation. Okay, so the left hand, I just pretended I could follow their instructions more easily. Don't think a beginner actually would, but did you notice anything? We didn't play it descending. To me, anyway, and this may be different for you, but for me and most teachers I know, that's not a C scale yet. That's not a C major scale until we played it up and down in most studios. But anyway, we've played something, so that's good. I don't think we would have followed those instructions very easily, unless we're very like an adult student who's very analytical. And that's fair enough, some people are. But otherwise, that might have been the struggle bus. Step 4, practice tips. What are we practicing? Practice slowly. Take your time to getting comfortable with your finger positions and transitions. Focus on hand independence. Practice each hand separately at first, then try both hands together when you feel ready. Repeat the scale. Okay, so they're talking about practicing the scale then. Finger positions and transitions. Don't like that. Okay, anyway. So that's all about a scale, and that's the end of their first lesson for us. Would you like to try this, or do you have any questions on these steps? Let's make sure you feel ready before moving forward. What? I'm going to pretend I'm a beginner. Songs can I play? I don't want to play a scale. Let's just pretend we're feeling argumentative. Because that's not enough for a lesson, and we can't... Okay, they're going to have us figure something out by ear. Got it. Let's dive into some simple songs right away. Starting with a tune that only uses a few notes will help you build confidence and enjoy the process. Here are 3 easy songs that beginners usually love. C, C, G, G, A, A, G. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Of course, that's only... There's no, how I wonder what you are. We're missing it. Okay. Steps to play. Okay, so they have the whole thing written out in letters. My gosh. Okay, or Mary Had a Little Lamb. Ode to Joy. Beginners do actually enjoy Ode to Joy, so I'd say that's a bit of a hit. But this is where ChatGPT has paid no attention to the fact of who we are. They haven't asked us who we are, but if we're using this site, we're not 4. Probably, hopefully. So shouldn't we have been asked, hey, what age are you? What kind of... They did ask what music we like, I get that, but Mary Had a Little Lamb, Twinkle Twinkle. Okay, fair enough. Practice tips for songs. Let's see if these are valid. Play slowly. Start slow to get comfortable with each note and the rhythm. Great advice. Use fingering. Try to use the suggested finger numbers, which they haven't suggested to us, and we're not following sheet music, so... What suggested fingers? But anyway, to get used to moving your hand. Repeat sections. Repeat each line a few times before moving to the next one. We don't really have lines. I mean, sort of there are, but that's 2 bars on a line, if we want to count those as lines. Try one of these out and let me know how it feels. If there's a particular song you'd love to play, I can help with that too. Okay, let's come back to that in a second. But let's think about what we've done so far. It is referring to sheet music that isn't there. And I get that it's not built for making sheet music, okay? I'm not being unfair. I'm just seeing what would actually happen, just as a little exercise, if we have this purely text-based situation to try and get it to teach us piano. And I guess we would have, like, from this, as an adult student, I think they would have been able to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star if they know the tune already. It has told us to make sure to follow the notes and rhythm, but there is no rhythm if we don't know the song. So that's a little hole in the logic there. So there's a particular song you'd love to play. I'd love to help with that too. Okay, so let's tell it we want to learn a particular song, and let's just see if it's going to break copyright. Yeah? Okay, let's try it. What will we do? Something recent. I'm going to tell it we want to learn birds of a feather. Birds of a feather, please. Birds of a Feather is a wonderful upbeat song choice. Here's a simple way to play the melody. Okay, this version uses just a few notes, so it's beginner friendly. I wonder who they're ripping this off, because they didn't really come up with it themselves. So I'm sorry to whoever's original video this is from, or instructions online. Let's use notes C, D, E, F, and G to keep it simple. Okay, let's try it. Find middle C first, as we discussed. Okay. Gone to the left of the two black keys, right? Here's a pattern to start with. Along with the rhythm you can try. Each line represents a phrase from the song. Where's the rhythm? What's she talking about with the rhythm? I don't think she's giving us a rhythm. Okay, I don't think... Here's a pattern to start with. Along with the rhythm you can try, but it's not a rhythm. I'm just going to play the notes as if they're all the same, because that's what we might do if we don't know what we're doing. Sorry. That sounds like nothing. Okay. Use your thumb on C, index finger on... I mean, that doesn't help. If we put our thumb on C, come on, we would have figured out to put our hand like this, most likely. Or we're playing it slowly. Oh my. Playing phrases. Add rhythm. Once you're comfortable with the notes, you could try to add the rhythm to match the lyrics. Okay, that's where they're coming back to the rhythm. Give it a go and see how it feels. Let me know if you want more guidance or if there's a specific part of the song you'd like to focus on. Okay, I like them saying, let us know if there's a specific part of the song you want to focus on, because yeah, that's true. A lot of students, they might have a particular part. I'm still going over those notes in my head, by the way. I'm getting distracted because I'm trying to make them sound like birds of a feather. No, it doesn't even make sense to me. Anyway, you can let me know what part of the song it is. So that's our little experiment with ChatGPT. Let's pretend that was our first piano lesson. Now let's think about what was missing and what we would want to do next. So we tried this. We were at home as an adult on a bored Sunday afternoon, let's say. And we were like, I wonder if ChatGPT can teach me piano. I have this keyboard in the corner that's been collecting dust. Let's try it. After this situation, how would we feel about learning the piano? I think we'd feel disheartened and a bit miserable. We may then go and say, okay, ChatGPT can't do this. Let's try YouTube. And then we would have more success. I'm not discounting that. Even with YouTube, we would have huge gaps in what we're actually being taught. That's just the nature of it. Most of YouTube piano is teaching us to play the notes and the rhythm, but not so much focusing on technique. There are great YouTube videos out there about technique and giving you technique tips, and I love those. And I love those creators for making them, but you do have to seek them out. So I'm always thinking about, okay, I'm a beginner, I'm hunting around, seeing what happens. If I come across an app or YouTube videos or try on ChatGPT because I'm feeling goofy, what am I going to be lacking? And I want to go back to the start of this and just read this to you again with what they promised. It's actually different from the first time I tried this prompt. When I was thinking about doing this video, I tried the prompt and obviously the answer was different because it's not just the same answers every time. But let's see what she said this time. I'd love to help you learn piano. Okay, let's make this fun and practical. Did she make it fun? Practical, kind of. We can cover everything from the basics like hand positioning and reading music to technique, chords, scales, and even song practice. So this is what bothers me. She said she was going to cover everything from the basics like hand positioning. I think by that we could say generously that she did teach us to put our hand in the correct spot on the piano. Reading music, no. Nothing about that came up. Sure, we could then ask her directly, but I'm just going through the things that she came up with for us to do first. Techniques, chords, scales. So she taught us a scale. I'm sure she could have taught us chords. My big bother with this is the technique part, because she says she's going to help us with technique. She didn't talk about it there. Technique, by the way, is not playing scales. It's playing using your body well. Like, that's what good technique is. If you play tennis with good technique, you're using your body in a way that is efficient and achieves your goals and doesn't cause you an injury. That's what I see as technique. And so she didn't teach us technique. Now, we could ask her about it, but if she's promising to teach us good technique, I don't think you can do that with words. I think that's an unfair promise. I don't want to make it seem like I'm taking it that seriously, or like I think people are really going to go to ChatGPT and assume it can be their 100% piano teacher. I don't think most people are going to do that. I just wanted to do it as a fun experiment to kind of poke holes in people saying, anyone who's throwing up their hands and saying, YouTube is taking over from piano teachers, or AI is going to take over this or that. Maybe they will, sure. I don't see it happening anytime soon. I'm sorry if that sounds narrow-minded of me, but we're teaching humans and we are humans. And we need to be there to provide guidance on how they move their fingers and arms and how we do things efficiently, and to motivate people to move forward. There is a certain amount you can do with not so much ChatGPT, but online apps and YouTube videos. And to people who are satisfied with that level of playing that they get from that, I say, great! I mean, more music for everyone. That's awesome. I love when I get YouTube transfers, as we call them, again as well, because they come to me and they have meticulously learned these songs from YouTube. I mean, pausing and following the colored bars or whatever way they did it. And I think that shows incredible dedication and incredible desire to learn the piano. And music reading is actually so much easier than that if we can get them on board with giving that a go. So I'm not against any of these things, but I do think there's still a place for us. And I think as long as we move with the times and stay focused on the human elements of what we're doing, I think we're going to be okay. That's my view on it. I hope you enjoyed this little exploration of ChatGPT today and what it could teach us about piano. Of course, we could explore more in-depth questions and pretend we're an advanced student, but let's save that for another day. If you have any questions about technology and using it in lessons in beneficial ways, or anything else that came up for you, please leave it in the comments. I'm excited to continue this conversation down there.